No.
No.
Fucking buggies. Fucking buggies.
Fuck, dude.
Shit. This is real Italian. Mi supplementazione è tua supplementazione, bro. Yeah, we can share, right? We can share also, but I'm sorry because I don't have tremble.
I keep on lying to, already under me and already under my skin, and I know exactly how this ends. I let you cut me out just to watch me burn. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping for what I won't receive. Falling for the promise of the emptiness machine.
I only wanted to be part of something. I only wanted to be part of. I only wanted to be part of something. I only wanted to be part of. I only wanted to be part of something. I only wanted to be part. Let you cut me open just to watch me burn. Gave up who I am for who you wanted me to be. Don't know why I'm hoping, so fucking naive. Falling for the promise.
What's up, people? How we doing? It's been a really long while since I've done like something like this. Or just really stand before the camera and talk, you know. And I think that's something beautiful about YouTube. And right now, everybody's going through something. Maybe somebody's watching this video is going through something. And I'm going through something as well, so I think all these fitness influencers have this perfect life, you know. They're lifting with all these big people, and they're sponsored by all of these big, you know, brands. It's just not true, you know. Like, they're still going through shit, and they're still having doubts, and they still think they're not enough. And I just wanted to come before the camera because right now in life I'm feeling like this. I have a ton of people, and it's weird because only in my life, and I think what a lot of people might have gone through, like one point, what they might have gone through is that, like, you notice that you generally get to know maybe like 1, 2 or 3 people in your life that probably will stay there for the rest of your life, and you will meet people, you will meet people, they will come and they will go, and then you get to meet some new people. I've been at that point for a very long time. I had, if you guys, you know, follow the channel, I have a friend called Jensen, you know, and it's really hard for me because he's been basically there for me, for everything I've ever needed. And he's such a good friend, you know. He motivates me, he picks me up when I'm low. He always tries to, you know, just put me up, and I think that's something important that you need to have in life. You know, something happened. A few months ago, I was not a good person, you know. I'm just gonna come through and say that I was generally not a good person. I knew how to be a good person, and I was a good person in front of other people, but when I was alone, when people weren't watching, I wasn't. I was generally a piece of shit. And this is one person I've met that generally completely changed me in a way, and that will never go away. And some of you maybe know that person I'm talking about, some of you don't. But that person came into my life and something just changed, you know. They showed me how to express myself better. They showed me how to, you know, show emotion. I think what happens to a few of us guys, especially in like young men, they kind of like tend to shut themselves down after after something bad. It could be parents, it could be friends, it could be girlfriends, it could be boyfriends, you know. But they like kind of get numb at like a point. That like happened to me. I just got like numb, you know. Really not a good way to live. If you're numb, you're still doing what you're doing, but you don't pay attention around you. And when these people come and go in your life, it's always very tragic and very hard, you know. Especially for me in my situation right now. For some people who are emotionally more ripe, or they have gone through something that was emotionally more challenging, I think for those people it's not just love, you know. It's that they meet someone they've been wanting for such a long time, that they themselves change, you know.
Shit, bro, oh my days, no way. Yo, what is this like thing?
My life, I've noticed all the stuff I've gone through made me numb, you know. It made me very numb to emotions, you know, like feeling happiness, feeling sad, feeling loved, you know. And yes, obviously I knew how to, like, you know, pretend to in a sense be loved, you know. I pretended to be happy, I pretended to be sad. Like, you cannot pretend to be something. So I've kind of gotten to know a little bit of people in my life. I know I'm only 18, but I've seen it over, like, I've seen it time and time again. People would be like, people tell, oh, you know, this guy is so great, he's so nice and everything. But then you get to meet them and they're just like that. And that's because something in their lives, you know, have been missing. Or they have been missing out on something for so long that it just comes natural to them to be numb. And maybe I'm losing my train of thought here, but when I met this person, I was a very dark place, and they scooped me out of it, you know. They dragged me out of it, and they showed me what, you know, real love can be, how real love can feel like. There was a complete stranger, and from one day to the other, they became everything to you. But at the same time, that person can become a stranger from one day to another. That same love can be broken just by our lives in general. When both people are going through a rough time, it's very difficult, because especially when you're young, guys, it feels like sometimes like it's out of your hand. Like you're doing everything right and it still doesn't work. And that's why I think some people get like very like demotivated, but not just with love, you know. This is not just something that happens with love, it happens with everything in life. Like, sometimes you work so hard towards something, it just doesn't give you jack shit back. And that's how it is sometimes, you know. Hard work, yeah, and dedication will always surpass that, you know. The way I'm thinking, and the way that I want maybe some of you guys to think about it, is that, you know, that didn't work out. Then you have two options. You can either stop there, or you can continue, you know. And that's, obviously I thought about giving up a lot of times. And I'm not gonna stand here and lie to you guys and say, oh no, you know, I've never had these things, you know. There's no, obviously you're gonna have them. You know, obviously anything you do in life, anything that is really worth it, you're gonna have your doubts, and you're gonna think, is this worth it? Should I continue doing this? Why am I here? Why am I doing this? It's fucking 12:35 and I'm talking here with 10% on my camera. 10% of my phone. I don't know how long I have until this flash runs out. There's no light in this room, you know. Why am I doing this to because I love this shit, you know. I'm dedicated, and love is a process. If there's any advice I can give on something which I'm going through right now, when you're going through a tough breakup, but not in a sense of something bad happened between you and the other person, no. When things went out quite neutral, you know, from both parts, I think that's worse as if it went out bad, because one of both parties will always suffer more, you know. Which is, a lot of young guys just don't know how to, you know, deal with breakups. And generally, I don't either. Cause a lot of guys, like, they love someone so much that they get lost in themselves, and they stop loving themselves, and they prioritize the other person over themselves. You know, you the viewer right now, you gotta learn that. If you're in a relationship right now and you're noticing that it's not even about putting in more, but that you put that person over everything, you need to love yourself first. That is something very difficult I had to learn today, you know. I had to learn today that I need to love myself more. You're in a relationship right now and you're seeing this. Cherish every second. Cherish every second you have with that person, because it doesn't matter if it's fighting, it doesn't matter if it's just sitting on the couch watching phone or just talking. Cherish every single second, because you never know when life might just fuck you up, and it's a very difficult feeling. It's something very difficult to accept, that anything in this life can end at any moment, you know. God forbid, but I could wake up tomorrow, walk out to the gym, go to my SHARM workout, and I could get hit, you know. I could get hit, I could die there, you know. I think most people will always still love a part of that person, and that's fine, especially if that person impacted you a lot. And I generally feel like I do, like, I think there's always going to be a part of me it's going to remember how they made me a better person, which is a precious memory, you know. So yeah guys, thank you for watching. I know this video was kind of weird, but thank you for watching, you know. I hope you have a great day, and thank you for watching.